Welcome to the Blue Earth County Board of Commissioners meeting of June 23rd, 2026. Those who can, please stand and join us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And we'll start off with agenda review, Josh.
There are no changes to the agenda, Madam Chair.
Move to
approve. Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And we have Small Cities Loan Extension Requests. Sarah.
Thank you.
morning.
Good morning,
Good
Commissioners.
morning.
Good morning.
My name is Sarah Moore. I'm the City Administrator for the City of Mapleton. Brandon Wendland, the owner of Wendland Seed, began a Blue Earth County Small Cities loan in July of 2021. The loan was to construct a shop for his business and purchase equipment. The original principal of the loan was $64,500, and since that loan began, Mr. Wendland has made all of his payments and has not missed a payment. He's made all the loan obligations, and he has requested that we extend the loan for an additional 5 years. And this would make the final balloon payment due in July of 2031. And both the Mapleton Economic Development Authority and the Mapleton City Council have approved this extension, and we respectfully ask that you do the same.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I will move approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion?
Nope, great opportunity to use this loan. We haven't been using this loan a lot lately, so it's still nice to see they're out there. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank
All in
you.
favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And we'll move on to drainage. Good morning.
Morning.
So we're starting with you, Ryan, is that right?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. We'll now open the County Ditch 51 final hearing for the petition for repairs under 103E.715. The first item is an agenda review.
No change. Excuse me. No changes, Madam Chair.
Okay,
I'll move approval of the agenda.
motion.
Second.
Second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. So the purpose of today's hearing is to discuss the petition for repairs pertaining to Ditch 51 and to receive comments from all parties interested in the County Ditch 51 repairs. The order of business for this hearing is as follows. Staff will review the jurisdictional documents. We will hear from the appointed engineering staff, and then we will open the hearing for public comments. So I will ask Blue Earth County Drainage Management Staff Ryan Hineker to review the jurisdictional documents.
Thank you again, Madam Chair. Notice for today's hearing was posted outside this building, which is the Blue Earth County Historic Courthouse. Hearing notice was also mailed to landowners on June 12th of 2026. Public affidavit was run in the Mankato Free Press also on June 12th. I also have a quick memo. County Ditch 51 watershed has approximately 484 benefited acres and is primarily located in Ceresco Township. On May 8th of 2025, County Drainage Management staff received a petition for repair affecting County Ditch 51, which is a public drainage system. The petition was received by the county's drainage attorney and found to be adequate for this proceeding. On June 24th of 2025, the Drainage Authority appointed Charles J. Brando, PE of ISG, to create and submit an engineer's review report for the proposed repair petition. The appointed engineer filed their engineer's repair report with Drainage Management staff on December 23rd of 2025. Part of the repair plans include replacement of all subsurface tile and a reroute for branch 2. The reroute of branch 2 included identifying a new area of alignment for the tile and securing signed easements by affected landowners. All easements will be recorded at the drainage system expense after final approval by the Drainage Authority for County Ditch 51. On May 26th of 2026, by signed findings and order, today's final hearing date was set by the County Ditch 51 Drainage Authority. Action requested. We request the County Ditch 51 Drainage Authority approve of the draft findings and order approving the engineer's repair report and hereby ordering the appointed engineer to make ready plans and specifications necessary for the public bidding for the repair plans for County Ditch 51. Also, we are requesting the approval of the resolution to finance for the potential for future bonding on this repair cost. That's all I have, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Ryan.
I move the jurisdictional documents.
I have a motion
Second.
and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. So let's now hear from our appointed engineers from ISG.
Morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
All right. So, start out, my name is Josh James. I'm a graduate engineer with ISG. I'm here on behalf of Chuck Brandel, the appointed engineer for the repair report of this system. Behind me, I have Jacob Mueller, PE with ISG as well. So to start out, just wanted to quick run through Minnesota Statute 103E.701, where a repair is defined in statute. A couple things I wanted to highlight there. The first being where it states realignment to original construction if necessary to reduce or restore the effectiveness of the drainage system. So that's going to apply, as Mr. Hineker stated, to branch 2 with that reroute, just showing that that does fall within the definition of a repair. And then additionally, highlighting that in statute it states replacement of tiles with the next larger size that is readily available if the original size is not readily available. That applies to this system. When it was originally installed, they used a bunch of 14-inch tile and 16-inch tile, which is no longer standard for today. So using that next larger available size does still fall within a definition of a repair. And moving in, just a little background on the system itself. So CD51 watershed lies within Ceresco Township. It is 484 benefited acres, and there's a elevation difference of about 80 feet within the watershed, which is fairly significant for watersheds around this area. There's a lot of clayey soils that we see out there, which is the hydrologic soil classification of CD, meaning there's not great natural drainage in this watershed. And then, of course, as many watersheds around here, the main land use is for agriculture. So here is a televising map. Back in 2023, we did do some televising. I'll just note that this watershed is not the current ROB watershed, but just showing where we kind of had some areas looked into. So that kind of moves into a little bit of the history with this system, established in 1918, so over 100 years old now. A couple notable events. We looked back at historical records, didn't find anything before 2016, but in 2016, the private creek that the tile outlets into was cleaned, as well as the concrete head wall that holds that outlet tile in place was repaired. Like I mentioned, we performed some televising in late 2023. Moving on, the ROB was completed in 2024, where we determined there was 484 benefited acres. From there, a petition for repair was submitted in 2025. And then a couple more notable events were County Road 10, the crossing underneath County Road 10 was installed when they were redoing that road in 2025. So there was some coordination there with the County Highway Department, drainage staff, and ISG to kind of determine what size and elevation to put that tile in. Apologize, I missed a slide here, so I'm going to go back real quick. Oh, never mind, it's still there. Okay, so looking at the current capacity of the tile. So in industry standard, we calculate the efficiency of a tile in what's called a drainage coefficient. So that's the amount of runoff in inches that a tile can drain from an upstream area in a 24-hour period. So the existing capacities for this system are really not too bad. We typically shoot for a 1/2 inch per day drainage coefficient as industry standard. With the existing conditions here, at the outlet we are about a 0.27, and most of it is above that 0.27, so really not too bad for the existing capacities. But I should note that these calculations don't account for any blockages in the tile or failures. Okay. So here's the existing watershed map. This is the updated ROB watershed with 484 benefited acres. The mainline outlet is to the very north, where it outlets into that private creek, and shortly thereafter goes into Perch Creek. The main line, it varies in size from 14 inches to 16, back down to 14 actually, and then 12, 10, so on and so forth. Existing elevation map, you can see natural drainage goes from south to north, the white areas being the higher elevations. So there is some pretty significant slope in this watershed, but there are still some of those more pothole areas kind of on the southeast corner, which is why this drainage is needed. So from our televising, we found many failures, many blockages. The photos on the left-hand side are from the main line. You can see the tile is cracking, starting to fall in on itself, misaligned. This causes a significant reduction in capacity. The right side top photo is from branch 1, where it is almost completely collapsed. And then the bottom right photo is from branch 2, where there's some sediment buildup. So just showing that this tile is in a state of disrepair. So looking at the proposed design here, we are generally following the alignment of the existing tile, aside from that branch 2 realignment, replacing at the same size, same slope as the existing system, except for in the case where the tile size is not readily available. So the 14 inch at the main line will be using a 15 inch. And in that way, we do gain a little bit of capacity for the system while still remaining in the definition of a repair. So touching on that realignment a little bit, you can see here, not sure if my pointer will show, but the existing branch 2 alignment is right here, running south to north. When it was originally installed, it was installed in the road ditch of County Road 32. Since that time, County Road 32 has been resurfaced, has been widened. It is now a blacktop road, and that county tile is actually underneath the blacktop right now. So therefore, it's no longer effective, can't really get to it, maintain it properly. So that is why we're recommending a realignment. And easements have been obtained for that realignment. There are some private tile connections, and we've been working with landowners to figure out how best to connect that private tile into the new system. So looking at capacities of this repair, kind of touched on it a little bit, but we are gaining a little bit of capacity, being able to go from that 14 to the 15, 16 to the 18, so on and so forth, but generally getting exactly the same hydraulic capacity. We do have planted profiles and full repair plans developed, working with landowners throughout this process, county staff to get their input and include that into our repair plans. Actually, I'll touch on that. So with this newly installed tile, the existing tile will be formally abandoned, and therefore maintenance from the county will cease, and it'll fall on the landowners to maintain that older tile, and then the easement will shift to the new tile. Looking at project cost, so breakdown of this, the total project cost falls at $491,486. Most of that cost being borne on the main line, as it is the longest branch with the largest size. One thing to note with this, we are utilizing existing road crossings, both under County Road 10 and County Road 32. So tying in on the upstream and downstream ends of that crossing that's already in place. And that was through coordination with the drainage staff and the county highway department, and did end up saving the project some pretty significant cost, about $75,000 in total, $40,000 for the County Road 10 and $35,000 for County Road 32. So in conclusion, CD 51 has been shown to be in a state of disrepair. System is over 100 years old, which is far past the life expectancy of similar systems. This proposed repair would seek to return the system to the same hydraulic capacity as originally constructed or subsequently improved. The realignment of branch 2 tile seeks to restore the effectiveness of the tile as compared to the current alignment. And overall, the proposed repair is of public benefit and will contribute to public welfare. Therefore, the engineer recommends that this repair project is approved. Thank you.
Thank you for the report. So at this time, we'll open the public comment portion of the hearing. If you would like to make a comment, please come to the podium, state your name and address for the record. Comments from the public are expected to be civil and respectful. Please note this meeting is being recorded and there is a 5-minute time limit. The county administrator will give you a 1-minute warning and let you know when you've used your allotted time. In addition, the board may restrict or limit the time allotted to a person whose remarks are repetitive or not relevant to the matter under consideration by the board. Is there anyone wishing to make comments? Anyone wishing to make comments on County Ditch 51 petitioned repairs? Alrighty, last time. Anyone wishing to make comments for County Ditch 51 petition repairs? Hearing no comments, I will close the public comment portion of the hearing. And are there any questions or comments from the board?
No questions, I move to approve.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And then, can I get a motion and a second for the resolution to finance?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. This concludes County Ditch 51 petition hearing. Thank you. All righty, thank you for that. Then we will move into.
Thanks, Jacob.
County Ditch 59, is that where we're headed? All right.
All right, a little background here. Blue Earth County Ditch 59 watershed is approximately 2,300 acres in size and located in Ceresco Township. On December 17, 2024, the Blue Earth County Drainage Authority approved a findings and order initiating a redetermination of benefits for County Ditch 59. Viewers were appointed in order to create an updated benefits and damages listing and viewers report for County Ditch 59. Action requested. We request the Blue Earth County Drainage Authority set a date of July 28, 2026 at 9 a.m. for a hearing on the proposed viewers report for the County Ditch 59 redetermination of benefits.
So moved.
I have a motion
Second.
and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next.
Great. County Ditch 77 petition for removal. Background, the County Ditch 77 watershed has approximately 3,491 benefited acres and is located in McPherson Township. A petition for removal was received by Property Environmental Resources Drainage Management staff on February 11, 2025. On April 8, 2025, the Blue Earth County Drainage Authority for County Ditch 77 by findings and order appointed a viewer and an engineer to aid in the petition and give their respective reports. A copy of the draft viewers and engineers report for the petition for removal were submitted to the Blue Earth County Drainage Management staff on March 9, 2026. Action requested today. We request the Blue Earth County Drainage Authority to set a date of July 28th, 2026 at 9 a.m. for the final hearing on the petition for removal of property, including the draft reports for County Ditch 77.
I'll move approval.
Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, we will move on to planning and zoning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Come right in and go right to the hot seat.
Oh, yeah. We're waiting eagerly out there. So. Good morning, Commissioners. I believe we've been called to the table here, and so we'd like to introduce ourselves. My name is John Constein. I'm the County Zoning Administrator. And this morning, presenting the Planning Commission items, we have Jenny Mokel Johnson.
Nice, thank you.
My pleasure. All right, so the first item we have is Planning Commission item number 01-26, be for Superior Concrete Block Company. This was a request for review and approval of the preliminary and final plat of the Superior Concrete Block subdivision. The proposed plat will combine 3 existing lots into one. The property is zoned light industry. It's within the Urban Fringe Overlay District and shoreland of the Blue Earth River. The proposed plat includes the existing Tract B of Registered Land Survey number 159, Lot 6 of Worthley subdivision, and part of Government Lot 1, all located in Section 23 of South Bend Township. At the Planning Commission meeting, staff presented the staff report. The applicant was present, provided general history of why he needed a plat. Following discussion, the Planning Commission voted unanimously to forward a recommendation of approval to the County Board based on the findings and conditions prepared by staff. So the request for board action is passage of the resolution based on the recommendations of the Planning Commission.
All right, so this is a public hearing, correct?
Correct.
So, at this time, we're going to open the public comment portion of the hearing. If you would like to make a comment regarding PC 01-26, please come to the podium, state your name and address for the record. Good morning.
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 My name is Steve Rentz. I live at 120 Greenwood Drive in Mankato, and I own the property in question. I don't know if there's any questions. Our goal here is, my goal here is to get the property situated in case my son or future owners may want to increase the size of our manufacturing facility. And with one piece of property being an abstract property and the other being a Torrance property, we couldn't do that. So that's why we had to go through this process.
I used to be the recorder, I understand.
Yeah, it was quite an interesting experience.
I bet, I bet.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to make comment? Last time, for anyone wishing to make comment on PC 01-26. Okay, we will close the public comment portion of the hearing. Any discussions or comments from the board?
I don't have any.
No discussion, but I move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. No discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. So that's it. We're going to close the public hearing and move on to the next topic. Sorry, you guys, I'm stumbling this morning.
No, you're good. All right, item number 2 is Planning Commission PC 10-26. This would be for Greg Strobel and Tony Oftendal. It is a request for review and approval for an ordinance amendment to rezone property from rural town site to agriculture for the purpose of constructing a personal farm shop with a personal truck wash. The proposal will also include on-site storage of wash water. The property is zoned rural town site and agriculture and described as the northwest quarter of the southwest quarter of Section 1 Meadow Township. At the Planning Commission meeting, staff presented the staff report. The applicant was present and provided a background of the use, which would occur if the zoning was changed. Following the discussion, the Planning Commission voted unanimously to forward a recommendation of approval to the County Board based on the findings and conditions prepared by staff. The request for board action is passage of the resolution based on the recommendations of the Planning Commission.
Thank you. So at this time, we will open the public comment portion of the hearing. If you would like to make a comment regarding PC 10-26, please come to the podium, state your name and address for the record. Is there anyone wishing to speak to PC 10-26? And anyone wishing to comment? We will close the public comment of the hearing. Any discussion by the board?
No questions, ma'am. Oh, second.
A motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. That will conclude planning and zoning, huh? No, it will not.
one
We're
item.
moving
One more
on.
item,
One more.
Madam Chair. This additional item, if I can proceed, it relates to a potential ordinance amendment that staff want to bring forward for the board's consideration prior to it coming before the hearing. The intent is that we'd be looking at August of this year. And I'll go and explain a little of the background. The proposal relates to an interim ordinance for data centers. Background on the situation includes that Minnesota Statute 394.34 allows counties to pass an interim ordinance suspending a particular use if the county conducts research in pursuit of amending their zoning ordinance to regulate the use. The statute limits the duration of the resolution to 1 year, with an allowance of a 1-year renewal. Blue Earth County has utilized moratoriums, resulting in a pause of processing any new applications for development for different types of uses. The pause allows county staff to conduct due diligence on characteristics and impacts of these uses and draft ordinance updates adopting standards which would address the public health, safety, and general welfare. Most recently, 3 years ago, Blue Earth County passed an interim ordinance establishing a moratorium for cannabis businesses. County staff conducted their research, and the county board subsequently adopted ordinance updates establishing standards for cannabis businesses. County staff have not received any proposals for data centers. However, the county land use plan states, with the #1 land use objective being to maintain ordinance that are appropriately respond to the residential, agricultural, industrial, and commercial trends of Blue Earth County. Several local jurisdictions, cities and counties throughout the state have recently been engaged in data center projects. County planning and zoning staff have been conducting preliminary research on other jurisdictions' standards for data centers. Multiple jurisdictions, which we have already reviewed, have now passed interim ordinances establishing moratoriums while they update their standards. In some cases, what we found is, there are some good practices to take a look at with these other jurisdictions. Then they have gone through the development process and they did not like the standards that they had in place. They had some lessons learned, and so they're going back and reviewing their ordinances. So if we're looking at what's essentially yesterday's news with their current ordinances that are adopted, we feel it's appropriate that we hit the pause button, see what they come up with, and really do our own due diligence. That's the most important part. But it would be somewhat foolish for us to look at another ordinance as a potential best practice if that own jurisdiction doesn't think it's up to snuff and is in the process of updating it. Along these same lines, the state legislature has had proposed legislation for a statewide data center moratorium in both 2025 and 2026, but on both occasions, the bills died in committee. So the recommended course of action the staff has here this morning, with the board's support, staff will bring forward an interim ordinance establishing a moratorium on data centers at the August meetings for both the Planning Commission and the County Board. Staff recommends the moratorium to allow further research on data centers, including but not limited to the use of water, noise, site characteristics, and potential impacts to the public. A one-year moratorium would allow county staff to review and aggregate other jurisdictional ordinance updates and allow for public engagement in the drafting of the county ordinance update for the board's consideration. Public engagement can include open houses, surveys, and almost certainly a dedicated webpage for public awareness. And this time frame would allow the county board to have work sessions if deemed necessary. So no action requested on this item, but wanted to bring that forward for the board's awareness.
Good. So if and when we pass this, if everything is good before the year is up, we could, if somebody wanted it and we had the ordinance tight enough that we believe is good, we could then permit someone to do?
We could. We're not required to go the full year
Okay.
Under the moratorium. If we get to a point where we feel comfortable based upon the public engagement and input from experts at the board's discretion, we could move forward with an ordinance update and essentially rescind that interim ordinance and establish a new ordinance standard.
And where would one go in the county?
That's an excellent question. Probably an important part of what we'll need to research. We've done some initial reviews, and it seems to fit better in more commercial or industrial areas based on the nature of the use. And there's not a ton of that in the agricultural land around Blue Earth County. So that will be part of our review.
So our ordinance wouldn't affect City of Mankato or other cities, is that correct?
Correct.
So we could have an ordinance and City of Mapleton or City of Lake Crystal could go about and do what they wanted to do.
They could.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I think it's a great idea to have a moratorium. I think this day and age with all the conflicting statements that are out there and you're seeing, it's great to get our experts down and take a look at it and say, okay, this is what's good for Blue Earth County. Knowing that if the City of Mankato would go about and do something, we as a county could not do anything. I mean, we could tell them we don't think it's a good idea, or it's a great idea, but they could go about and do it anyway.
They certainly can.
Okay.
County staff has been in communications with other city staff, and our understanding is that these cities in Blue Earth County are actively looking at alternatives related to a moratorium as well.
Yep, it's a great idea.
Well, thanks for that update.
Appreciate it.
Anybody else have any questions?
Nope.
Okay. Well, good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
On deck, John from Community Corrections. Good morning.
Morning, John.
Morning.
All right, good morning, everybody. I have two items for you. The first I believe we have is a drug court contract or cooperative agreement. Attached to this memo, you'll find an amendment to the previously approved cooperative agreement between Blue Earth County Community Corrections and the state of Minnesota through the 5th Judicial District. The amendment is to continue our agreement for fiscal year 2027. The amount for the year is $90,000. The agreement allows Blue Earth County to provide probation services to clients in the Blue Earth County Adult Treatment Court. This agreement would expire on June 30th, 2027. Essentially, it's a continuation of the contract. Historically, it's been 2 years. The last time we did the contract, we did 1 year, so this is just a continuation for an additional year at this point. The dollar amount has remained consistent at $90,000, I would say at least for probably the past decade. I would respectfully request that the Board of Commissioners approve the cooperative agreement between Blue Earth County Community Corrections and the state of Minnesota.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It carries.
All right, and on to my second item. I have a couple advisory board member appointments for the Community Corrections Advisory Board. I would respectfully request that the Blue Earth County Board of Commissioners appoint the following individuals to the remaining positions, or for the remaining portions of the 2-year terms of the Corrections Advisory Board. Their terms would run until December 31st, 2027. There were 2 members we were looking to add. From Commissioner District 5, it's Emily Forsyth, and then from Commissioner District 2, citizen member Joe Visker.
I would move to approve.
I have a motion
Second.
and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks,
John?
John.
Have a good day.
John. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Human Services. Mr. Clausen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Phil?
Well, Chair and members, I'm really glad to have Erica Sutton with us this morning. She's going to talk about our program First Steps after I do the action items, and I also have just another informational item I'll do before her.
Okay.
Thank you, Chair. First action item, both under public health, is eliminating health disparities. This is a contract we've had in the past, providing funding to support activities related to resettling refugees and specific to active or latent tuberculosis. This is the beginning of a new 5-year grant period. It's a small grant, about $2,000 a year, and that's about 10% down from last round. The term of this contract, June 30th, 26 through June 29th of 2031, and we get annual award notices about the exact amount. And then, Chair, I'll do the second one too, Medica Health Plans. This is actually from Erica, and she worked really hard to get us back on our feet here. As you know, this is a ripple effect from UCare, and just kind of canceling their programming. And so we went from trying to be kind of lean and mean to losing one of our biggest providers. And if you have questions about that, Erica's by far our expert on this. But the contract itself is to reestablish ourselves with Medica for managed care. And there are 2 programs, MSHO and MSC Plus, with rates of $150 and $140 respectively. The term is August 1st of 26 through September 30th of 27. We worked really hard to decide to discontinue with Medica, and now we just absolutely need this as a provider. So those are my 2 action items for today.
I'll move approval of the action items.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Chair. As far as the first informational item, I'll just go through this and see if the board has any questions at this juncture. We, as the board knows, are involved in the South Central Community-Based Initiative, SCCBI, as we affectionately use our acronyms. And through actually the federal government to the states, there was a rural communities health improvement, quality and outcomes project that the state kind of facilitated and went to us as regions in our collaboratives and said, would we be interested? We've actually, many years ago, we did do something somewhat similar to this and had funding back in Senator Sharon's day. She was a champion of this. And then we went through a bad budget cycle and we lost our money. And so there was no reason that it died other than just funding. And so that was kind of hard. But here we are again, and it might literally be 20 years later, back to a resource through the SCCBI, but it is for children, so that can be a little confusing because we talk long and hard about serious and persistent mental illness, and that is with adults. And this is regarding the kids side, which is really underserved. We don't have a lot of structure on the kids side. So this award is just short of $300,000 for the region. The term is July 26th through September 30 of July of 26th through September 30th of 27, and that's very dependent on more further approval. I just didn't want to surprise the board or Josh with the fact that this is kind of kind of on a front burner right now, trying to see if we can at least be approved for the money, and then we can talk more about the specifics. It would be a total of 5 years. You'll see these 9 focus areas: a coordinator, gaps analysis, crisis stabilization. There is an emphasis on lived experience, people that have had struggles of their own as a child or with their family, being involved in the service. Network expansion, mini grants, project evaluation, data collection, and then administrative and fiscal compliance. So those are kind of the focus areas. Talk to Josh about this. We've in the past been, pretty quick to put up our hand regionally and be fiscal host or employer of record. Because of our circumstance, we're not doing that. We're really hoping, this isn't meant for pressure on Rice County, but Rice County has really done a lot of the heavy lifting. I think they look like they'd be willing to do this. We got to get the details, and their board needs time to digest as well. But I just wanted you all to know this is out there. I think it's a really good thing. I think that line to draw that we can't take on more as far as the administrative side right now, it's a really bad time for us, is a fact. So I just wanted the board to be aware of that for information.
Thank you.
So Phil, these funds would be $295 a year for 5 years?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
kind of
just
what
wanted to
we're
be clear.
thinking of. The structure, to be honest, Commissioner, is not perfectly clear either, because sometimes they say this is for startup, which I think this 300 is. Then what's ongoing would be based on what we have on the list. And if they said, well, we're going to give you 7 of the 9, the number might be less than that or adjusted. So there's a lot of unknown right now, not a lot of specificity, which you guys know where we're at with some other federal stuff right now, big stuff, that just cannot get a clear target, and it's really hard to plan. So,
Well, it's exciting to see it's
Yeah.
back on the table.
really good thing.
Something.
Really good thing, yes. And again, right up Erica's alley, as far as she's been good enough to take on our children's mental health programming, and so this would be a crossover with her staff, and then obviously administratively as well. With that, I will just hand it over to you, Erica, and talk a little bit about First Steps, if you would.
Sure. My favorite program to talk about is First Steps. We created this program 13 years ago. Teresa, the coordinator, has been there since the inception. The program is designed to serve new parents, to help refer them to resources when they're struggling or if they need guidance. Teresa is housed in the Mankato Clinic. She works with the Mayo Clinic, Open Door Health Center, and the Mankato Clinic, so can serve all 3 centers. She will help refer people to financial assistance, housing, employment, helping them find resources for diapers and wipes, maybe gas cards so they can get to their appointment. The nice thing about her being housed in the Mankato Clinic is there's a nice warm handoff. So the patient can go and see their provider, and after they are done with the provider, they can walk into Teresa's office. How we did this before, a referral was sent via fax maybe to the county office, and then you had to schedule an appointment. So people showing up and committing to appointments is about 100% because she's right there located in the office. We were lucky enough to receive funding from a Medica grant this year, which helped to fund an incentive program so Teresa can help with diapers, wipes, gas cards, helping people get to appointments when they need to be there. We also received funding from the Greater Mankato Area United Way and the Mankato Clinic Foundation and Blue Earth County. My favorite story from this year is probably the mother that came in and unfortunately had suffered the loss of one arm. And so Teresa was helping a new pregnant mother learn how she was going to help a baby and care for a baby with one arm. So together they watched YouTube videos, they learned from other people. Teresa had never experienced anything like that before, but hand in hand, they were able to help each other, and she's thriving and doing well. I know I've sent out the video before, so we're not going to watch that today, but please take a minute to watch that as well. It's 5 minutes. It was produced by Evan Taylor. His father was Dr. Taylor at the Mankato Clinic and is a great supporter of First Steps, and then the Mankato Clinic Foundation also helped to produce the video.
Thank you.
Any questions?
I just have a question. So, I mean, I heard you describe a lot of things that someone would be in financial situation with this. If someone wasn't in a financial situation but had something else that they maybe couldn't handle, is that something that is available to them also? Or?
Yes,
Okay.
she takes referrals for many different reasons, but it doesn't just have to be a financial
Okay.
struggle.
Well, that's good to know.
Mhm.
There's some of these families that don't have the support in the area. They might just need something with something small, but they're.
Yes, and a nice trend that we saw this past year was 2 parents coming to appointments, and so Teresa had mentioned that too, so I think that's good to note, versus single parent household. So that was a nice trend we were seeing this year.
That's very good to hear.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think even this special situation where somebody had, obviously a disability with losing an arm, but, it could be anything too, that the parent also needs to deal with this reality if the child has special needs at all. So I think financial is a big driver, there's no doubt about that. But there's also a lot of special needs that pop up, and, parents don't know, if you haven't been there before, how to really adjust. And so it's just nice to have somebody that cares, that'll be right beside you. And then it's about, I think, resourcing and networking. I do want to say, I know you guys, I think everybody watched the video, but just as a PR piece, to me, it's, in all the years I've been here, it's one of the best products we've seen. It's just very well done, and a lot of great testimonials about people that are lived experience, went through, got some help from First Steps, and now are in the healthcare industry and stuff like that. I just love those stories, so we're pretty excited about that as a resource.
Yep, very good.
Yes, and as you see too, I forgot to mention, Teresa received a pretty large award last December. It was the first year they opened it up to non-nursing folks, and so if you read about Betty Hubbard and all that she did, it was a pretty big deal. So it was a great day. Her parents were there, other great leaders in the state were there, and so we got to honor her and the work that she does.
Great. That's awesome.
Nice.
Very nice.
Anything else?
But thank you. Thanks for hearing us and for your support. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate
See
you. Okay, on to administration. Josh.
Madam Chair, the first item to approve would be the minutes for the June 9th meeting.
Move to approve.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries.
Madam Chair, the next item are the bills for the 2 weeks listed.
I'll move to pay the bills.
Second.
A motion and a second to pay the bills. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries.
All right, Madam Chair, the next that we have is our Human Resources agenda. All of the items here listed are informational. We have a recruitment initiated for a corrections supervisor, promotion of our Deputy Director of Property and Land to the PER Director, resignation of our Land Use Planner, and then also recruitment initiated for Land Use Planner as a backfill. Employment of an election specialist, a temporary position to get us through the election season. Promotion in our license center to a license center coordinator, and then a recruitment for a backfill of the license center specialist. This is a follow-up from our last time where we had somebody on the agenda that accepted that decline right before starting, so that's just there as well as informational. Then also employment of Assistant County Attorney in the Civil, Juvenile, and Human Services Division. Also a recruitment initiated for Senior Account Clerk in the Billing Unit in Human Services. Resignation of a Maintenance Technician 2 in Public Works. Then recruitment initiated for that as well. And then also resignation of a Maintenance Technician 3 in Public Works. And then the recruitment initiated for that technician. Also, a employment of a correctional officer part-time. Actually, 2 of those correctional officer part-times were the result of previous part-time going to full-time positions. Then recruitment initiated for a correction officer. We have a lateral transfer of account clerk and human resources to human services to clerical specialist 2. And then on there, recruitment initiated for account clerk and human resources. Little busier time this last month we've had in HR, where it's been a little slower lately. Any questions I could answer on any of those items? All right, and the next item we have is for the resolution to appoint the, in the License Center, to appoint the Deputy Registrar and License Center Agent, with a resignation upcoming of our current License Center Administrator. Jolie Wohlers, who will be our new License Center Administrator, would be moved into that driver's license agent and deputy registrar position. So I would respectfully ask the board to approve the resolution appointing her as such.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries.
Madam Chair, the next item is a exempt gambling permit. This is for the Minnesota Deer Hunters Association Bend of the River chapter, and this is for them to conduct a raffle. We'd be looking for approval of that permit.
So move.
Motion, second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries.
And then the next item listed is the permit for a temporary on-sale liquor license. This is for the liquor license for the Blue Earth County Fair coming up.
Move to approve.
I have a motion
Second.
and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries.
All right, and the last item under administration is the financial status report for May 31st. One thing just to take note as we look at this is right after taxes were received for May, and we also didn't have the distribution going out to local jurisdictions. So some of the numbers you'll see a little higher in our balances. But as far as revenue and for sources, really tracking really well for the year. Also for expenditures are tracking right where they should be. Nothing at this point really significant for the enterprise fund for the Ponderosa landfill. As you'll see, is really as we talked last time, revenues are down slightly this year, which also expected with where we were one vendor bringing a little bit less out to the landfill. Machinery and equipment also a little bit higher, as we've had 3 larger purchases of equipment out at the Ponderosa this spring as well. And looking at for county and investment balances, as mentioned, right now our total available funds are sitting a little over 93 million, which when we get to that next one, we should see that come back a little bit more in line where we've been, just with those disbursements going out to local governments. And then under for our dedicated funds, what we're seeing is at this point total of a little over 155 million in those funds for total county funds, including the dedicated. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those.
When does the health insurance increase?
For July 1st,
July
we'll be
1st.
seeing that.
Any other questions?
I don't have any questions at this
All
time.
right. Thanks, Josh.
All right, thank you, Madam Chair.
All right, I guess we're moving into commissioner reports on committees. Kevin.
All right, thank you, Madam Chair. On June 9th, after our board meeting, we had a CD 47 landowner meeting. On June 10th, I'm sorry if I said July, but June 10th was PACE Committee with the Renewable Minnesota Energy Board. On June 11th, we had a JD 24 landowner meeting, a JD 23 landowner meeting. I participated in the drainage work group and was our True Transit Joint Powers Board meeting. On the 12th, with the rest of us, I was at the AMC District 7 meeting in Brown County. On the 15th, we had 2 landowner meetings for JD 22 and CD 59. Not to be undone, on June 17th, We had 3 landowner meetings, CD 88, CD 93, and JD 36. On the 18th was our NACO RAC call, and on the 22nd was the NACO Ag Policy Leadership call. Just want to comment, and I think we saw it again this morning with the hearing. Want to thank the commitment not only of our staff, the viewers, engineer staff, and the landowners. If we can get them to participate in the landowner meetings, the hearings go like they should, because all the questions have been answered, or any concerns have been addressed. So again, just want to thank the commitment of all those groups that makes our job this morning a whole lot easier. So that concludes my report.
Thank you. Yep.
Right, Madam Chair, well, my report looks almost exactly like Kevin's, take out the NACO stuff. We both read a lot of ditch things the last 2 weeks, but the only thing I would add to that, I just want to say that I thought the AMC district meeting in Brown County went very well. Patty did a great job with the report. It was nice to hear about some of the other things going on in the communities. And then, again, Kevin mentioned all the ditch stuff, 22, 59, 88, 93, 36. A lot going on with those, but again, we're getting people really active in those, and I think it's really important. The 88, 93, and I thought the 36 meeting, which is Kevin's, all 3 of those, which are very controversial, all went very well, I thought, last week. So the only thing I would add after that is I did have my South Central Workforce meeting, and everything is moving along very well there. So that's all I have to report today, Madam Chair.
Thanks. Vance.
All right, well, I had a very light calendar. I had the AMC district meeting on the 12th, and on the 18th, I had the NACO RAC conference call in. So that was all I had in the last 2 weeks.
Mark?
Mine's really short, too. June 10th, we had a REIT advisory committee. And then, of course, on June 12th, we had the AMC in New Ulm. And that concludes my report, too.
All right. Well, on the 10th, I went to the Housing Forum down at the Civic Center, which was an interesting and long day. On the 12th, I too attended the district meeting for AMC. The 16th, the NACO regional meeting. On the 17th, I had the Region 9 bus tour and the annual meeting, another all-day event. And the 18th, I had TDS in the morning, the RAC call, and the NACO policy series. And that concludes my report. So we're going to motion to adjourn, right?
Yep.
I got a motion?
Second.
And a second. All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Good job, Madam Chair.